Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hands Across the Water, the only multi-generational Beatles and solo podcast where nothing is off the table. Today, we are diving into the exciting John Lennon, Yoko Ono, Elephant's Memory Band box set, Power to the People, and of course, I can never do this alone. Today, I'm joined by my co-host from across the Hudson, New Jersey, Andy Nichols. How's it going?
Hey, Kyle, and hey, Tony. Good to be back here with you guys doing a show.
Yep, glad to have you. And now I'm also joined by the man who was so excited to wear his Beatles branded underwear that he had to wear his backup pair of Beatles branded underwear. Bailey Tones.
What?
And there's your hot take for the episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my goodness, I don't know what he's talking about, but I like it. Hi, Kyle. Hi, Andy.
Hello, mate, and it's nice to see you again. And I hope you keep that branded underwear to yourself. There you go.
It certainly will.
Hopefully, we don't go to pair number 3.
If I knew what it was and where it was, I would definitely be keeping it to myself. Yeah.
So today we are unpacking not the whole box set, but we are going to focus on a certain aspect of the box set of Power to the People. There's so much to go into. There's been a ton of discussion about it, both before the box set was released and now during its rollout after it's been released. And Tony's done a video on it. So lots of people have gotten their words on the box set. But what we want to do is kind of almost like not a revision, but maybe a part 2 of our podcast that we did when around when it was announced.
Yeah,
we took another look at the Sometime in New York City album, and now part of this box set is kind of what you would expect from like a traditional box set, where it's the remaster or the remix of the album, elements mixes, evolution documentaries, studio jams.
right.
So that is what we are going to kind of zoom in on and look at for Power to the People. So how do the remixes change our perceptions of the box set? How do the jams and the evolution documentaries give us a broader perspective of the album? That's all the fun stuff that we are going to dive into.
And it's only the first of 3 that we're doing here on this kind of box set. So our shows over the next few weeks are going to be Power to the People centric. The next episode, we're delighted to announce that we're going to have Gary Van Scyoc, the bassist of Elephant's Memory, join us for part 2 of our kind of dive on Power to the People. And then in part 3, we're going to get to everything else in the box, particularly the live stuff, and especially the home demos, which our youngest, our Gen Z, are just loves to talk about. So we're going to tackle that in part 3. So this is the beginning of this is like the first of 3. So they're going to be very Power to the People centric for a while, even though it is November. We're recording this on the 1st of November, and it's now anthology month, and it's McCartney month, and the tour rages on, and the book comes out, and so there's plenty of Beatles to go around the table because there's nothing ever off the table.
We're spoiled. Yes.
So,
and you also failed to mention my most anticipated release of the year, the Wings compilation.
Oh yeah, that too. That
album, which I always bash compilations, but I genuinely, with an open mind,
I tell you what,
this. Yeah.
They're selling this at the gigs already. When I go to Nashville, I'm gonna buy you a copy and bring it back.
I already bought one from Super Deluxe Edition.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I got the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
They're already selling it at the gigs?
They are. They as of starting, I think, in New Orleans last week, they were selling it at the gig.
Oh. Vinyl or CD?
I don't know. I don't know what format, but I was told that they were selling them at the gig. So we shall see. We'll see if they have them in Nashville. Tony, what have you ordered anything from that yet?
Yeah.
Lots of different stuff.
I've just ordered the colored vinyl, the colored vinyl version.
Yes.
But yeah, selling them at gigs. No opportunity is too small to miss.
No. Can I just model off my brand new
Go ahead,
hoodie?
Please.
Go ahead. Oh,
there we go. That
Very
is
nice.
very cool. That is very cool. What city?
San Antonio. I bought it.
Is it specific to San Antonio?
No. This is like the brand. This is like the brand logo that they're going with this 2025 kind of multicolored young Paul Wings face screen. That's like the main shirt.
Because I'm seeing on Reddit that every different tour or every show they're doing a different design.
Oh, that too. So there is city specific merch, which is available on Paul's website or at the venue for a lot of money, or you can get it elsewhere for much less money.
I hear that. Say no more.
Say no more. So yeah, back to John. So go ahead, Tone.
No, I was just going to say, have you still got your eye on the jean jacket?
No, I don't have my eye on it. It's coming on Tuesday.
Oh my goodness!
I ordered it. Thank you to Boyan Archer, who sent me the 10% discount code from Paul's store, which saved me $50 on the jacket, and I went with the black one.
Ah, okay.
So I'll be wearing that when we are in Canada.
Lots of Paul merch to go around. You'll need to get some sort of deal.
I would hope so. It's very addicting.
Yeah,
it's very addicting. But yes, so that was interesting. But back to John. Yes, so back to John and our thoughts on the album. Let's start with the album proper. Now that, as Kyle said, like, you know, we know what we thought about it beforehand. We've listened to it pretty much all the way through. Although Kyle and I haven't finished it totally yet. Tony has. What are your thoughts now on this album now resequenced and how it's been branded now that we've had some time to sit with it? What from the album itself? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it in terms of the album New York City Reimagined? We'll go with Tony first.
Well, I really like it. I think what I like the way it's been stripped back, because, you know, one of the biggest complaints about Sometime in New York City is the spectrism of it. You know, tons of reverb on the vocals and on the drums, which is a Phil Spector trademark. It's kind of what you expect. I like that has all been stripped away, and you get a much drier, cleaner vocal and drum sound. If you listen to the snare drum on there, it's much sharper than it is on the original album. It's not so flabby sounding, and so that's the general thing. Obviously, the thing that always applies to these remixes that Paul Hicks does is that John's vocal is much more to the fore, so you hear it better. I think there's a couple of things I'm not that happy about. I don't like I'm not totally sold on the fact that they took the piano off of The Luck of the Irish. I kind of miss that, but generally I think it's really good. The track New York City just sounds really bombastic now, and things that I weren't that keen on before, like Born in a Prison, I like much more in this arrangement, because you can kind of hear John's backing vocals in it, and which you couldn't before. They were kind of buried. There's lots of things that I like about it. Sunday Bloody Sunday, I think they've taken that sax off the intro.
Yes,
comes in when the marching
drum bit. Yeah,
they've taken that off, and that makes such a big impact when John's vocal comes in. Without that, you just hear John's vocal. It was Sunday Bloody Sunday when they shot the people. That is really, really powerful. I think so. I think they've kind of made it. They've kind of made it more folky. I think if you was to kind of sum it up in places anyway. In places, I like the extensions that they've done on.
They did 2 minutes of that, and they added 2 minutes to Sunday Bloody Sunday, which I didn't think, and I think Kyle will agree. You didn't need to extend that at all.
No, I disagree. I loved that.
Oh, you did.
I loved it.
I like the fact that it doesn't fade out and then come back in again. They just let it run. So we hear what they would do, the bits that we were missing when it was faded out, sort of thing. No, I do. It's definitely a thumbs up for me. Obviously we've got the missing track, which I don't really want to go into.
Nothing to say there.
No, go into it again, but definitely as a piece of as a CD, I think it just sounds just so much better than it did before. Just something.
Totally agree. It's an album that you had all those CDs. Even I think it was even pressed as late. It was repressed as late as 2005 on CD when Yoko kind of was more in charge of overseeing John's campaign, and that was good. But this is light years better. And you had an idea once this project started in 2020 with Give Me Some Truth. You knew the direction Sean was going to take with remixing this music. And much like the Beatles stuff, it's up in your face. I mean, especially New York City, as Tony mentioned, that's like right in your face. The bass is really right. It's in there. You hear it. It's like it's so much more powerful now, which it was already a great song, I think, and probably the highlight of the record, in my opinion. And now that it's been kind of taken as the opening track on this reimagined, New York City, I'm fine with that. And I've really enjoyed it. The other stuff, we'll get to it, but in terms of the album proper, I do miss the flutes on The Luck of the Irish. I think taking the flutes out was a mistake. Sax, I agree with. But on The Luck of the Irish, there's a certain twinge of melancholy when you hear that flute with that song, and now that's been removed, which is a shame because I quite do like that track. It's one of my favorite on the whole record. The Yoko ones I'm not as keen on, but I do like hearing John better in those tracks, especially more live. But sonically, the whole package is very much like what Sean has been doing. I don't think it's going to change my appreciation of this period at all. But if I want to listen to this stuff in its rebranded way, then it's a winner. The box is definitely a winner, but the album itself, I think, is fine for what it is. I'm okay with it. I'm not going to listen to it. It's not going to be my first Lennon album. That if I'm in a John mode, I'm not going to go reaching for Power to the People. But I mean, to hear everything that else is in this thing and now listen to things like John Sinclair and more of the evolution stuff, which I find much more interesting. But that's just my thoughts on the main album proper. I think sonically it's a great improvement and it's in your face now. Kyle?
Oh, Tony, you want to jump in? I feel like you're about to say.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm not really sure what the thinking was with the flutes because it's pretty that song is very folky anyway, and the flutes kind of make it more folky.
Folksy.
I said folky. It's more folky. Luck of the Irish is a folk song, and the flutes make it more folky. So I don't know. I'm not really sure what the thinking was behind that. Maybe just to make it a bit more gentler. I don't know. Anyway, Carl, let's see what you think at it.
So my thoughts are kind of all over the place with this, but the headline thought is that I love this remix. And I think that getting this 2025 treatment, it's kind of like, I mean, I don't really know much about preserving art and ancient paintings and stuff, but I feel like it's kind of like using delicate tools to like scrub the grime off of like an old painting to make it like pretty and new and stuff. Because yes, it was done by Phil Spector, who was like a world-class producer. But when we listened to it a couple months ago, I really saw it as flimsy and light and poorly mixed. And I remember us even saying then that John and Yoko's vocals are vocals when they're duetting. It should sound so good, but they're just like buried beneath the, and that we were like, I can't wait for the remix so we could hear it fully. And that is, I think that totally delivered here. And so actually getting that proper treatment of, again, just not being kind of mired in the time of John wants this, Yoko wants this, the label wants this. Just see it as its own art object that we are trying to not only like preserve but carry on into a new generation. I'm really happy that it got that lift, right? But now here's where my complicated relationship with it lies. You know, I haven't had as much time to enjoy all this music as you guys have, only having been a fan for about like 7 years. But because of that, I haven't given it a very sincere listen until we did that show about it. And so this is, I feel like for me and maybe possibly others, the New York City album that kind of will, you know, be the one going forward, which I'm sure will irk a lot of people to say, well, that's actually rewriting history now. It's the original is the original. And that's kind of where my complicated feeling lies, because they did such a good job with this, where in a lot of other ways, like for Mind Games, for example, or what's a better example? Maybe like All Things Must Pass, where that was a just very Phil Spector production. They remix it in 2021, and some people say the remix is better, and I'm sure people disagree on this, but maybe some say that it's okay for this 2021 remix to be the first thing that people listen to because it's just more modern and better, and it's still the same album but just a little bit cleaner.
Right
now, so I guess what I'm saying, what I'm really trying to communicate here is that it bums me out that this album got really elevated, like really big, because it's not just like a great album that got better. To me, it was kind of like a poor album that became great. That it really, to me, maybe is not as good as Imagine, but stands as like, oh my gosh, this is the sequel to Imagine. Don't forget that.
You want to say the word great with this record though? When
yes.
You have like things like
yes. No, I'm confidently saying great. Even the songs that we were like, that I was saying last time, like I would skip, that we kind of had some disagreement over, like Attica State, for example, like we had some disagreement over that. I think that the new production makes it like, I wouldn't really skip any of these tracks, but I think that, I guess I'm sorry to take so long to make my point, but it all comes back to that song, right? And they didn't remove the song from the album because it's a bad song, right? Like it's not Ue Le Soleil, and they just should have just like deleted that from history. Right? Like they deleted it for obvious reasons. And I feel like I just wish that this album could have been the center of the box set. Like the fact that they had to like rework everything.
Okay, I respect that. Like this could have been the shining star of the box set, not Hyde.
And I didn't think that before the remix. Before I was kind of like, this album kind of sucks. It's probably better to focus on the live shows and the whole story of One to One.
Almost doing it a disservice by burying it is what you're saying. I get that.
And not only doing the album a disservice, but doing the remix treatment a disservice. The remix is so good that I think that I wonder if it got the forefront treatment, it would have been more highly regarded, you know, by being the centerpiece.
And we would not be pushing the concert as the focal point of this package.
Yeah, and I think it would still be an integral part of it. But
hey, that's a good point. That's a good take, and I agree with you on that, because the remix job is great. Tony said it, I said it. I mean, all the music now sounds brilliant and clear, and you can hear John and Yoko so well in all this music now. Even if some of this is not your cup of tea, it's done well. All of it is done well.
Yeah, I mean, I think one way to get around it, and I think that's the way that they've gone, is, you know, this isn't Sometime in New York City, because it hasn't got, you know, Woman is the Figure of the World on it. You know, it's not Sometime in New York City. These are the rest of the songs that were on that album, but it's not that album. And you know, I did think when I heard Give Me Some Truth, and I heard what they did with Angela on that, it was like, oh my god, they have got to do a remix of Sometime in New York City. And you know, if you were to ask me, would I have preferred to have this box that we've got, or to have Sometime in New York City as a proper ultimate mixes, as in the series that it's always been, with all the element mixes and with the raw studio mixes and the outtakes and all that sort of thing, I would have said, yeah, that's what I want. And I also want the one-to-one hybrid concert included, and that would have done me. You know, that's what I would have wanted ideally. But
I'm with you on that.
You know, this is what we've got, and you know, it's great to have the you know, both the evening show and the afternoon show as well. But I can remember when it was first announced, sometime in February 2022. There was a web page that went up. Sometime in New York City, Ultimate Mix is coming June 2022, and I remember doing a video on it then, and I said, well, you know, this is probably John's worst, you know, worst selling album, and to to give this box set a unique selling point, they want to put the one-to-one concert remixed in with this box. So I was expecting it to be the usual Ultimate Mixes, you know, the 6 CD thing, plus the one-to-one concert, and I thought that was the thing that was going to sell it, because you know, it's such a historical concert. It's John's only full concert as a solo artist, and you know, everything that we know about it.
Yeah.
But you know, this is what we've got, and you know, a lot of people on my channel have said, you know, we love the New York City album. Are they going to put it out as vinyl?
Oh, that's an interesting marketing question there, because you know, to not have that material on vinyl is really is puzzling, right? Because we're only putting on, the only thing they put on vinyl is the concerts and not the music and not the actual, not the album. That's a big mistake, in my opinion.
Because I feel like if they're worried about kind of releasing it without that track, like, and giving it more of like, this is a standalone release, I feel like they've already pissed off everybody that they're going to piss off.
Just get behind it and put the record out, and you know, this, and stand by it. Stand by that and just release it.
Yeah, because even on streaming, it doesn't have its own album art. Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
Well, I was just going to say, it does, you know, there's no, it's already been released. It's already been released. It's just been released on CD. So you know, there's no hiding any shame or anything. It's already out there.
But standalone CD?
No.
Yeah, well, that's what we're saying. Like, making
what I'm saying is that the only way that you can get to hear it in its entirety is to get the box set.
Well, now it's on streaming.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's on streaming, yeah, but as a physical release,
to hold it in your hands, you got to buy the box set.
So you know, I would quite like to see, maybe for Record Store Day or something like that.
Yeah, because
the estate do like to release something for Record Store Day, and we know that Walls and Bridges isn't coming until 2027. So they've got nothing to release next year in April in Record Store Day. Maybe
they'll do it. And
we will get New York City on vinyl. I hope so. I
hope so too, Tony. I think it could be one of those things where it might be a Record Store Day first, and then made available after that. You know, not just like an exclusive on Record Store Day, because that would be a shame if they was say they was only made 3,000 copies, you know, worldwide of this reimagined New York City on vinyl. I would love to hear that. I'd love to take that new, you know, and I don't know what kind of artwork they would put on it or whatever, because they would not put the same sometime in New York City artwork on there. They'd get very creative, and to have that open up and, you know, have New York City with that thundering bass, you know, playing in your house on vinyl, that would be fantastic.
Yes, I want that. So so for me, in terms of my changing perception of this, I think I've made that point. But for you guys, like, does it change like in the rankings at all? Like, is it just squarely in your least favorite John Lennon solo album and hasn't moved? Because for me, I would still say it's my least favorite, but I think that the gulf between between rock and roll and that,
I felt the same thing with Mind Games. I thought that it closed the gap. I think it closed the gap, because the Mind Games remix was just it was just fantastic. It was just fantastic, and I think that this remix is fantastic. It's still my least favorite John Lennon if we're calling it sometime in New York City, which we probably shouldn't because it hasn't got that song on it, but if we are
New York City,
or do we, or is this a new album? And do we a new album to include in a rank?
It's a new album now. Okay,
it's still my least favorite John Lennon album of original songs, but the gap is smaller, and it's only my least favorite because the bar is so high.
Only because the bar is so high.
Yeah. And I think we are 3 for 3 on that score. I think we all feel that the gap has been closed with this release. It'll still never be our favorites, but we can look at this whole package and production. And
I mean, the whole package is just fantastic. I mean, 9 CDs. The book is brilliant. It's bigger than any of the other books that they've put in the box sets.
That's it, man.
It's 204 pages, I think it is.
And they really, and I was telling you guys earlier, I was telling Kyle, I brought it on the road with me with the Paul tour, and I, with every intention to really start reading it and finishing it. Have you guys finished the book yet or no?
I'm still reading bits and pieces. It's 204 pages.
It's a future episode.
I don't have a lot of time to sit down and read. Lots to do, but the bits that I've read are brilliant. And I've been all the way through it, but I've just kind of cherry picked bits to read, and I'll go back for the others. And there's going to be the standalone, the Thames and Hudson book that'll come out next year, as well, which will probably be brilliant as well.
I really like the ephemera in it. Kind of, if you're watching the video, you can see that this is like a little excerpt from the lyrics, like the sheet music.
Yeah, I love it.
With it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll hold the book again the other way. I love that image of the sometime with the page you had open.
I'm sorry.
You had that great picture I was trying to see.
I got you.
Go over the other way with the book. Go over. Over. Keep going.
This is a good one. Yeah.
I love that image. And if they were to take artwork and call it, like, I'd say make that the cover of the new reimagined New York City.
Oh yeah.
And use the same font, but don't take some time and just call it New York City and use that image and drop that album.
Yeah.
There's your record there, Simon.
Give
us a call.
Yeah. No, I
think full well if this is coming out for Record Store Day, it's already been planned. It's already
I know.
It's already got its own sleeve, and it's already ready to go. We just got to wait till April for it.
We do. Let's talk about the Evolution documentaries, which for me is one of the highlights of this entire set. I listened to the whole thing, raking leaves, for 2 hours this afternoon, and boy, those were brilliant, weren't they?
Yeah.
The chatter, John and Yoko talk, and how, first of all, when it's John and Yoko just together, when these Evolution, and it's just usually him and her on a guitar, and the quality's not that great. It's a home demo on acoustic guitar, and he's strumming along, and they start Sunday Bloody Sunday doesn't even resemble what it became.
No.
When you hear that, she's like she's like yelling, Sunday, and then it goes on and on and on, and just the banter between the two of them, the banter between the studio. Half the time he's just looking for dope. We need some dope. We need this. We need dope.
Anybody got any grass?
We need bread. I mean, the studio chatter on the Evolution documentaries is brilliant. He goes, we got to do that feminist song before McCartney does it. Sorry, Paul.
Yeah. The bit where on Sunday Bloody Sunday, where Yoko's doing a Yoko thing.
Yeah.
And she's Sunday Bloody Sunday. And John goes, fucking Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
It's brilliant. I mean, the Evolution mixes, I love them on all the box sets they've done so far. The Evolution, apart from the actual remix of the album, the Evolution mixes are always my favorite bit. Favorite bit, and they don't disappoint. This time they're really good. At the listening party in London, I was lucky enough to speak to Sam Gannon, who puts together the Evolution mixes, and spoke to him quite a bit about them, and he was really chuffed that that I said it's one of my favorite bits of all these boxes, the Evolution mixes, and it just gives you a real insight. You can't when you're listening to them, you feel like you're in the booth. You're in the booth while they're recording it. It's just so intimate, and in places it's intimate. Sometimes it's really bombastic. When you hear like the outtakes from the songs as they go through. I mean, something like New York City is really, really powerful. When they do that first take, I can't remember what number it is, but the first take after we hear the electric guitar demo that's got the different words on it, like the first one from the studio, is so powerful. And I just love it. And the little things that it kind of, those Evolution documentaries give away, like, we hear that bit during Luck of the Irish where Yoko says, male chauvinist pig engineer.
Yeah.
On the Sometime in New York City happens at the beginning of Sisters Oh Sisters.
Right.
It actually came from the recording of Luck of the Irish, which, we didn't know that. We didn't know that until we heard these Evolution mixes. So, they're very revealing, and I love them. I think
real quick, then Kyle, I just want to say there's some pretty couple of interesting moments too where John gets a little frustrated with Yoko singing too. Do you notice his temper?
Yeah. He goes, she's right on top of my eardrum.
Yeah.
There's a few times in here in these Evolutions where he's like, all right, Yoko, like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, because it brings you in the room. There's no mythologizing then, it's, I mean, obviously they're choosing what to show you, but it's raw.
It's real fly on the wall stuff, and it's very great.
What are some of your favorite stuff that you from the Evolutions? Like, what parts of those songs do you like the most, Kyle? Out of the 9 that are on there, which ones stand out to you?
So I feel like more so I'm interested in the whole concept of these, because honestly, I know they've been very highly praised and stuff, but I feel like I haven't taken advantage of them when it comes to the Plastic Ono and Mind Games stuff yet. I want to go to like the outtakes, and I want to go to the remixes, but I haven't really enjoyed them a lot. And I think
you haven't.
Well, but by my own fault, faults. So here's why. I think that they kind of are in this no man's land of like a medium, because it's not quite like, I mean, yes, it's music, but there's a lot of talk and there's a lot of like fly on the wall perspective, where it's not something where it's like, if I'm, I don't know, just wanting to listen to music, it's not really what I would go to, because I don't want to hear the same song 3 times. I don't want to hear people talking. I just want to like listen to Mind Games. But it's also not quite a movie because there's no like visuals. So it's this interesting midpoint between like, hey, if it's a Friday night and you're not sure if you want to watch a documentary or I mean, that sounds super nerdy, but I guess that is something that comes across my mind now and then. But if you're not sure, do I want to watch a documentary or if I want to listen to music, like this is perfect for you. This is like right in between those two. And I'm very interested in just that medium itself. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is not easy listening music. You're learning something. You're engaging with the evolution, literally the progress of the art. That I don't know. I was just fascinated by
an audio. It's an audio documentary, is what it is, and it's its own.
Yeah,
it's almost like you're looking at it as its own experience that is part of a whole other package. That for you. I understand. Like, you're not into it because it requires.
I am into it,
and you have to focus on it. Whereas you just want to hear a song and enjoy it.
Well, I think that was my feelings prior to this, because it was just like its own unique creature that I didn't really know how to handle it, And so I am very excited by the concept. But am I wrong? Like, what other artist does this? There's nothing quite like this.
No, there isn't.
Yeah,
and we said, we were talking the other day when we were saying about the future of the Beatles box sets.
Yeah,
where they're running out of stuff to put on sessions for the early the early albums.
Mhm.
They could take a leaf out of the Lennon book, because they're always looking for complete takes, but you don't need complete takes to do an evolution
No,
documentary.
you do not.
Yeah.
If you've got several takes of a song that break down, then you can put together an evolution documentary,
which is kind
I
of
Love Her or something like that, or whatever it might be. I also just want to stress at this point, Carl, you're too young to be staying in on a Friday night watching documentaries on beavers.
Oh,
Get off my back, Tony. Come on. We're very domestic people here in Brooklyn. Well, at least my, fiance and I. But we have our cats, some apple cider, and Ken Burns. We're asleep by 9 o'clock. It's
So are you really Gen Z, or are you?
I don't know. I mean, it's by a year, maybe. Anyway, but
no.
I think the other thing is that this reminds me of my friend and I went to a again, the whole point is I don't know how to describe this. It was the author of the guy that wrote the book based on the new Springsteen movie. His name is Warren Zanes.
Yeah.
He did a show, in quotes, where he tells stories about Nebraska, while then in between his stories, there's a 3-piece band behind him playing songs from Nebraska. And my friends and I, on the way home, we were like, there's just nothing like this. You just don't know what to call it. And I just love because I love words. I love being stumped with like something is so special and different that I don't know what to call it. Like it's a lecture, concert, just doesn't do it justice. And I feel like evolution docs just, again, sit in that no man's land of like, it's not a podcast, right? It's not a documentary. It's a audio musical documentary experience. It's a beautiful thing.
Right.
It is definitely unique, and whoever came up with the idea is a genius, because they're brilliant.
Yeah, I will say though, so we did know that, Tone, that in the 90s with the anthology, George Martin and the team kind of did this, but not to this level.
No,
They did this with some tracks on the anthology to present how a song, especially with Strawberry Fields Forever, you kind of, on anthology, they kind of use this approach. Obviously, Team Lennon has done it. The bar has been set to show you how to actually do it. But, the Beatles have flirted with this before. And it would, as you mentioned, Tony, it would be nice to see them tackle this and put it together.
Well, if they've got lots of, if they've got lots of takes, but not complete takes, then it would be ideal. They also did it on, was it I'll Be Back, where you get, you get one take that's in 3/4 time, and then the next take is in 4/4 time, I think.
The only thing in the Beatles canon that's like this, do you want to try and guess what I'm going to say?
Love?
Yellow Submarine.
Yellow Submarine.
Because it starts with John's demo, and I think that there's some talking, and it's like just 3 or 4 tracks. And I love, like, when I have a friend over, and which is, not on a Friday night when I'm watching a documentary about beavers, obviously. No, and I'll just say, okay, like, here's my record collection. How about we listen to Yellow Submarine 4 times in a row on vinyl? But it's kind of like what this is. That's like, but it's, to me as a nerd, it's so cool to see that development from John. So before we move on to the jams, any thoughts on the elements?
Well, they're on the disc 6, aren't
they're on
they?
disc
they are.
Oh,
okay. Well, because I was just saying, I feel like they're kind of a neighbor to the evolution.
They're weirdly sequenced on this one, because you've had, you didn't get all this, you didn't get the whole album of the elements. You got Sisters Oh Sisters, Born in Prison, Luck of the Irish, and Angela, and that was it. So
the thing is that they're all strings. All they are like the string, the strings isolated. Which to me, I mean, I kind of feel like a total brick for missing this, but I only really heard the strings on Angela. So
that's why they're called the invisible strings, but they should have been called the inaudible strings.
Okay, so I'm not a brick. Okay,
but on the reimagined on the New York City, the strings are virtually all gone. On that. There's a couple of bits, I think, on Sisters Oh Sisters you can hear some of the strings, but most of the strings are gone. I mean, I love the Elements mixes and on Mind Games when they did the Elemental mixes, where they always kept the lead vocal in there but did different instruments, and I love them, and I would have liked an element mix for every song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice to hear the strings because you really can't hear them.
Yeah.
But, I don't think it's something that I would come back to a whole lot, to be honest with you.
Well, and again, I think that's also to my point of like, this is not just like throw it on easy listening music. This is like, I am leaning in, taking, action to learn about this album. It's a different kind of disposition you have. But I think that when I heard the Elements mixes, that's kind of when the light bulb went off my head of like, yeah, John loves to talk about this album like they're the minstrels, or talking, doing, no, not, what do you, didn't they say they were the minstrels of like talk, like they're doing news through songs?
Yeah,
I might be using the wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
But the strings made me realize that like, wait, like this is a former Beatle. He can have strings on any song that he wants. Get those people in the room. Like that's what it made me realize. Like, wait, this is the follow up to Imagine. Like, yeah, it was kind of like slapdash, but they weren't like just taking it easy. Like they did strings on 4 songs. I don't know. Maybe I'm overhyping it, but it just kind of made me think like this is a real production.
It is a production. It absolutely is.
It is because it's a big band as well.
Yeah.
Yes. And I do think we
there's
talk
5
about
in Elephant's Memory, plus there's John and Yoko, and there's Jim Keltner as well.
Yeah, well, I think that's just the myth of the album as like this, this is his throw it out like newspaper, album.
Right. Here it is, warts and all, have at it, like listen to it. But I think with the band, the sax, we always talk a lot about the sax with John. And it's interesting, why it gets removed. And he's got that great quote again in the Evolution documentary where he's something along the lines of, right, if anybody's mad enough to play sax, you have your head examined or something like that. Doesn't he say
you deserve to be tortured or something?
Yeah. So I think that's pretty coy that Sean left that in there. Yet we know that he brings the sax down in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Because Sean doesn't like the sax as much, but it's very difficult with Sometime in New York City because Stan Bronstein, the sax player, he's like the leader of Elephant's Memory. I think he's the main guy, and there's sax everywhere. There's sax everywhere on this album.
I was thinking about this today, John. This was not. I know we talk a lot about sax on a lot of John's other records, but he's got King Curtis on Imagine. He featured very prominently on a lot of tracks. So this is not like let me get to New York and just have he had sax. There's sax all over Imagine.
And Walls and Bridges as well.
And Walls and Bridges. So obviously, that was something that he, was in vogue to do. And, it's been kept, he's muted it or taken it out completely, which I don't have a problem with because I don't miss it.
No, I don't either, to be honest. But obviously it's difficult to take all the sax out of this period because with Elephant's Memory, because Stan Bronstein was so prominent on this album. But there's a lot I think in the concerts as well that have been if not removed but toned right down.
A lot. I know during Imagine, it's still in Imagine.
Cold Turkey as well. It's
very but it is what it is. I want to talk about those the band jams now on the aforementioned 6 discs.
Yes, sir. What I love about box sets in general is the same thing we were talking about with the Evolution documentaries, just being a fly on the wall. And this is kind of starting to show my hand about why I am obsessed with those clock demos. That anytime that they just like press record and let these superstar legends just run, like I'll take it. Yes, a lot of these songs are fragments, which kind of sucks. It's just like I love just having them like let loose. So yeah, I mean it is kind of, they all to me they kind of blend together. Some are better than others, but maybe I just haven't listened to it enough yet to kind of like appreciate certain ones. But I guess the reason I'm saying that is in favor of just the whole general vibe of this CD, just being like guys hanging out. And
I think when I attended the Power to the People listening event in New York where Sean was at, Gary Van Scyoc was there, and you guys will learn this next week when you talk to him, that when the band got together, that's what John wanted to jam with. It was 50s rockers. Let's get to know each other. Let's feel each other out. Let's play Honey Don't. Let's play Roll Over Beethoven. They all want to talk about Beatles and play Beatles, but they're like, they know he doesn't want to do that. So let's play Send Me Some Lovin' and all these 50s tracks that all these guys wanted to do. And that's what you hear. It's very evident when you hear the band jamming, and he's telling them, no, it's this song, and you should know this song. It goes like this. Don't you know it? Like, when he's talking about You Can't Sit Down, which is my personal favorite.
Yeah.
On that set, he's thinking, you should know that song. I'd like what he's trying to tell these guys. This is my youth. Let's jam.
Yeah. It is. I mean, that's the thing about these. You can't take them too seriously, because this is really just a band killing time in between takes.
Yes.
So, while someone's fiddling with a hi-hat or rewinding a tape or whatever it is they're doing in the studio, they're killing time before they're ready to go for the next tape. So they're just it's just the band hanging out and messing about, really. And there's a few gems here, I think, and they sound great.
They do.
They sound really ballsy.
They do. Even like Honey. I mean, John doing Honey Don't, which we only ever knew as a Ringo song. Not just, we get it twice on this set.
Yeah. Well, he must love that song, because he also jammed, because we also get a jam of it on the Plastic Ono Band box set as well. I wonder if there was some sort of wrestling match between John and Ringo to see who sang it on Beatles. It's obviously clearly a favorite of John's, because he keeps coming back to it. I think my favorite from the studio jams, I think, is Send Me Some Lovin'. I think
that one's great.
That's great too.
Yeah. And they also released Don't Be Cruel Hound Dog on YouTube. I thought that was a good choice. If I'm right about that, because I really liked that one too.
Yeah, he's hamming it up a bit as Elvis on that.
And Fools Like Me is really good, but that was kind of short. But it's just funny, like, whatever. I mean, this is some more might be some more Gen Z slang that made Tony soil his Beatles branded underwear last time.
But you know what? I'm back in this episode, so no 2 against 1 now.
Now it's 2, yeah.
I'm here to back my mate Tony now.
I don't know. But there's this lead up is ruining the point anyway. That I don't want to feel like a simp. That's what you call someone that just bends
Simple.
over. Kinda. It's like somebody who just like walks the company line, just does oh gosh. I'm watching Beaver documentaries. I'm not in this Gen Z world. I just pick up a little bits. But anyway, I'm just saying that I don't mean to be an over fanboy to John and just say that like anything that he farts into a guitar, I'm gonna listen to. But like, I love this stuff. The fact that they are just killing time between takes and it's half-assed, I'm like, yeah, well, it's John Lennon. Something that he does that's half-assed is still going to be better than like most musicians. Like, it's so good. And that's why I was even listening to this and I was like, this could be a record store release, just a record store day release, just on its own. And again, also due to the quality of these box sets and how they treat it. And they're not just like going to rip it from the tape and then just throw it out. They improve it.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, listen, on the third installment of this Power to the People special, the hot take is going to be between Beatley Tone and Kyle over that 9th disc, which Kyle is viewing as like this like fantastic, Messiah coming to Jesus moment of a thing. And Tony's going, what are you fucking talking about? It's just John and his jam. He's jamming on a guitar. So in the third and final installment of Power to the People, these two are going to go at it over that 9th disc. Oh boy, are they ever.
So stay tuned. Well, if you want, okay, hot take for this episode. Ready?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, go on.
Happy birthday, Yoko Ono. Happy birthday, Yoko Ono. Better than Happy Birthday by the Beatles.
What?
Yes.
You mean birthday?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
What?
It's so good. It's so fun. I also don't like that song, so it's kind of just.
Yes, we're going to a party.
No, listen. The other part of this that I feel like we forgot to mention is that they're doing an interesting rollout of this box set. That if you on release day that they marketed as release day, they only released the hybrid concert, I think. But they're
you're talking about streaming.
Yeah.
On streaming.
So if you didn't buy the box set, they're rolling it out, I think, every week. So 2 weeks. So on the 24th, they released the Evolution documentary, and now just on Halloween the 31st, they released the studio jams. So if you thought that they were only releasing the hybrid concerts, and you're like, I'm out of luck, you're in luck. Because
is this on Spotify?
I mean, I have Apple Music, but I'm sure it's the same.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so as of Halloween, you can listen to Happy Birthday Yoko Ono and tell me it's better than Birthday, the worst song on the White Album.
So what's going to happen now, Kyle, is there's going to be one corner of the room with you sitting on a chair, and then the rest of the world sitting on the chair in the other corner.
I hope that if you see Paul again, he plays Birthday and he does the whole, anybody in the audience has a birthday, this is for you. And I hope you get to hear it.
I would love.
Has anyone got a birthday this year?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, there's our hot take boy of the day there.
Relish the opportunity.
Oh boy.
Play that for me every single one of my birthdays. Happy birthday, Kyle Hand, instead of birthday.
And has he managed to get through this whole show without mentioning Bob Dylan? I think he might have done.
I think I did. I
did.
I did. My tongue's bleeding from all the false starts.
All right, gang. Well, that'll do it for this installment of Hands Across the Water, Power to the People mini-series part 1. Next week, my co-host will interview Gary Van Scyoc for a great interview and a chat on his working with John and being an elephant's memory. And they will be doing that one without me because I will be in Nashville coming back from the Paul tour. So guys, thanks for holding it down and have a great interview with Gary.
Yes. And if you've made it to this point of the episode and you have a question that you want to ask Gary, put it in the comments and we'll, take it into consideration. I
mean, Gary's been doing a lot of stuff. I think he said on one of his interviews he's doing 50 of these shows. So I think we're going to be asking him some stuff that he hasn't been asked so far. But if you've got anything that you want us to ask Gary about the one-to-one concert or the recording of Sometime in New York City, then do put it down in the comments and we will endeavor to ask it.
Yes. And so if you're still watching, just thank you so much. We love doing this show. Our community is getting bigger and bigger down by the day. We're knocking on the door of 1,000 subscribers, which is just we're so lucky to have these people interested in what we have to say from our multi-generational standpoint. So
they just want to know about the Beavers.
Beavers? No, they want to know about your Beetle branded underwear.
Oh God Almighty! That would help me.
I want to know what it is as well. I've no idea where this has come from, but anyway.
For Beatley Tone and Kyle Hand, I'm Andy Nichols here from Hands Across the Water, and we'll see you next time.
See you, everyone.
Power to the people.